All right. Thanks for the introduction. Yeah, I'm very pleased to be here. Yeah, my first time to be here. I think very impressive. Yeah, with the conference and also the city as well. Okay. I think today I'm going to talk about the work. Yeah, we did for nickel based superalloy. I think we focus on the mechanics. We look at the fatigue and also recently we did some hydrogen embrittlement. Yeah, and related with simulation of crab growth. Okay. So this is the outline of my talk. We start with background, yeah, and then followed by the technical part, and then finish with a brief summary. Okay. I think if you look at the aero engine, yeah, the cross section of the aero engine, we can see three major materials. Yeah. The blue one, yeah, is titanium alloy for the fan blade and also the compressor blade as well. Yeah. Then the yellow one basically for the shaft. Yeah. Try to rotate. Yeah. And then the red one, yeah, we call nickel-based superalloy. You can see the material basically used as turbine blade and also turbine disc here behind or around the combustion chamber. So currently there's no other material can be used here. So this is very important, okay, in terms the functionality and also the mechanics, okay. Um, if you look at the working condition, yeah, I think for turbine blade, turbine disc, normally, yeah, they rotate at speed, yeah, greater than 10,000 revolution per minute. So this gives lots of centrifugal load, yeah, and increase high level of stress. And also, yeah, this is the typical failure the turbine disk. You can see we have all the notches, yeah, because this is necessary to for the structural design. Okay, because of the stress concentration features, yeah, can lead to crack initiation and propagation, yeah, then eventually the disk failure. Okay, and during the working condition, yeah, we have to consider the fatigue, creep, and also environmental damage as well. Yeah. So, surrounding around this area, yeah, I think what we did is we have did some research here on we call cyclic deformation. Yeah, this is related to fatigue for the material, yeah, and also for high temperature. Okay, for single crystal and polycrystal as well. Single crystal mainly used for turbine blade, yeah, polycrystal yeah, for turbine disc. Okay. Uh, Apart from testing, we also developed a model, a mechanics model, yeah, can simulate, can model yeah, the cyclic deformation. Later on, the model can be used yeah, to predict the safety of the components. So this is the viscoplasticity model, yeah, we developed. We can simulate the cyclic behavior very, very well. I think this is visco because it's rate dependent, yeah, can model the relaxation, or in another term, basically is a creep, okay? And we also look at the crystal plasticity model as well, because for the turbine disc, yeah, the material basically is polycrystal. Yeah. So to look at the deformation at this green level, yeah, we need the crystal plasticity. And this crystal plasticity yeah, can give us nice description of cyclic stress and behavior, and also the stress distribution yeah, at the green level. Okay. So this is the cycle from fatigue side, what we did, yeah. Uh, Recently, I think because of the aviation industry, they need this aero engine, yeah, which can reduce the carbon emission, even eliminate the carbon emission. Currently, I think Boeing, no, GE, Rolls-Royce, yeah, Pratt Whitney, and also CFM, yeah, they can develop this hydrogen burning aero engine. So they try to currently, I think the development is very fast. Yeah. By 2050, yeah, this might be commercialized. So in this situation, yeah, I think we have considered because the environment is hydrogen yeah, burning. So in this situation, we need to consider the hydrogen embrittlement behavior for the nickel-based superalloy. Yeah. So these three results, yeah, first one is tensile, the second one is fatigue, yeah, last one is fatigue crowd growth. Okay, this is based on literature. You can see it's very sensitive yeah, to hydrogen embrittlement. So to ensure the strong integrity, yeah, so we have to study the HE. Okay. This is the result we recently did yeah, for the Chinese alloy. We call it FGH. It's 4096. I think the first diagram A is the uniaxial tension. You can see we after certain hours pre-charging with hydrogen, you can see the dramatic reduction of the elongation. Okay. The second figure basically is the fatigue. Okay. And also, the fatigue life, will be reduced as well, by the hydrogen. Today I'm going to mainly talk about the fatigue crowd growth, in hydrogen embrittlement condition. Okay. So what we did is we use a CT specimen, then we pre-charge the CT specimen in a gas hydrogen environment. Okay. Then under a high temperature and also the 20 MPa pressure. Okay. This allow us to allow specimen to be fully charged with hydrogen. Okay. After that, then we did fatigue crowd growth testing to look at the effect of HE on fatigue crowd growth. We did so that one is the microstructure of the alloy. You can see the green microstructure and also the precipitate as well. Yeah. And also we did the microprinting, hydrogen microprinting after pre-charging. Yeah, then we see the hydrogen mainly diffuse along the green boundary and also along the phase boundary as well, the gamma prime, the phase between gamma prime and the gamma matrix. Okay, these are the results for the fatigue crowd growth results. The first picture basically the crack length versus the number of cycles. The second picture is fatigue crowd growth rate versus stress intensity factor range. The last one just quantify the hydrogen embrittlement, the level of hydrogen embrittlement. You can see with hydrogen for both room temperature and high temperature, the crack growth is much faster, okay, compared to the condition without hydrogen. Okay, so clearly telling us hydrogen embrittlement is very important for this nickel-based alloy. Okay. And also, after testing, we look at fracture surface. Basically, without hydrogen, we see the typical fatigue striation, okay, fracture surface. With hydrogen, we see the causal cleavage. Basically, it's a slip plane decohesion. I think in the morning, I think also the previous lectures, they all highlighted this HED mechanism. Okay. And this is confirmed by the EBSD as well. Okay. So this is for room temperature. For high temperature, exactly the same. Okay. So that's the from the micromechanics microstructure side. And now we also quantify we try to visualize the crack tip. And these two pictures basically showing there we see the hydrogen uh, near the crack tip. And also at high temperature, we see the oxygen as well. So room temperature basically is mainly hydrogen embrittlement, but high temperature, we see the combined hydrogen embrittlement and also oxidation. Then we propose a model, we try to simulate hydrogen diffusion into the crack tip, allow us to do the prediction, okay? And also the model can also model the oxygen as well, okay? I think the simulation the method we use called paradynamics. This we recently developed in the group. Okay, compared to FE, this is a non-local approach. When they deal with this fracture problem, has lots of advantages. That's why we utilize this paradynamics. Okay. And the paradynamics, we incorporate the fatigue model. The fatigue model basically based on the cumulative fatigue damage and related to the energy, okay? Because energy driven the fatigue crowd growth. And for diffusion, because we want to model the hydrogen oxygen diffusion, the diffusion side, we just follow the normal, okay, the diffusion equation, okay. Then we do this computation within paradynamics. On the other hand, we also look at the hydrogen effect on the critical energy release rate, allow us to consider the hydrogen and also oxidation effect, okay. So after this model development, we also search literature and we also did some tests of our own. We get the model parameters, then we simulate fatigue growth for CT specimen. Okay, and this is the simulated model the crack path. Okay, and the figure here basically is the fatigue crack growth rate here. For pure fatigue basically without hydrogen embrittlement, without oxidation. Okay, you can see the model is very capable. Okay, And after this pure fatigue simulation, yeah, we also simulated model the hydrogen assisted fatigue growth and also yeah, oxidation yeah, assisted fatigue growth. You can see the model also very capable, yeah, can agree very well yeah, with the experimental data. I think here I would like to highlight is you can see there is a degradation yeah, function. By utilizing this function, yeah, we can simulate the level of damage yeah, caused by hydrogen and also yeah, oxidation. I think one advantage of our model is we can model the mixed hydrogen and oxygen environment yeah, because at high temperature, apart from hydrogen, you also have oxidation. So you can see the prediction yeah, on this side. At the beginning, yeah, purely oxidation dominated. At certain delicate level, you can see the hydrogen effect here take place. Okay, you can see the sudden increase of the fatigue growth rate. Okay, so this is the simulation side. Okay, I think that's the talk here today. This is the conclusion. So from the fatigue deformation and also hydrogen embrittlement and model side to look at this topic. Okay, finally, thanks for the support here from NHFC. Okay, thank you.